is at #1 on Billboard's Modern Rock chart. And in a recent interview with The Face magazine, Bono himself said, quote, "Michael Stipe has a better voice than me, although you can't always understand what he's saying," unquote. Now you get to hear it from the horse's mouth, although he doesn't mention Bono or Billboard.
We decided with this record that we wanted to try to take more time in the studio and have time to experiment and stuff like that. And what happened was we got bored, pretty much. We almost strangled each other about 2 months into it, and realized that the amount of time you give yourself to do something is exactly the amount of time it takes to do it. So we'll never take 3 months to do a record again. I think there's a kind of syrupy kind of texture that goes along, and the layer, the layering, which is maybe more of a personality fault for the band than a southern, a typical southern trait. But I think that there's a lot there. Although I have hair and I wear shirts, but it doesn't have anything to do with that, And I understand that all these kind of high school kids in Connecticut are wondering, what the hell is a hair shirt? And if you can look it up in the dictionary, it's kind of boring, really. When it came down to it, it was like, 6 hoagie sandwiches piled up, but it was made out of paper instead of cheese, and we just kind of flipped through it and said, yeah, we'll sign it, and we did. They offered us massive distribution, and they offered us complete artistic control. I did kind of have hope, and for Dukakis, I was insulted above, not personally, but more on just kind of, there's a nationalism, there's kind of a patriotism that is more mythological than it is realistic, I think, at this point, in history. The bringing in of Bush to kind of carry out the Reagan era is probably going to just force people to take things into their own hands. I can't lip sync, because I got pillow lips or whatever. I can't do it. I just can't stand there and pretend that, but we might do a live, live recording kind of video. Yeah. And the band looks really stupid playing unless they're really playing. It's just really hard to watch videos and think, those are people I want to meet or something, or that I want to admire, because, a great deal of them are kind of heinous. Lou Reed called us, and Jefferson talked to him, because I don't pick up the phones very much at the office, but Jefferson talked to him, and I think he called and said, thanks for doing the songs, because we covered a bunch of Velvet Underground songs. And, we said, you're welcome, Lou, buy a house or something. I don't know. Whatever. I admire him a lot. I think that everyone kind of feels like R.E.M. is a really great thing, and it's right here, and then there's all these other things coming out of it. Yeah. So yeah, we're doing other things.
R.E.M. goes back on the road this spring. That's news for now. We'll have more next hour. You're on MTV.
MTV.